Michael Corleone is not destroyed by weakness, recklessness, or emotion. He is destroyed by intelligence. This is what makes his story one of the most profound and tragic arcs in cinematic history. From the very beginning of The Godfather, Michael is portrayed as the sharpest mind in the room. He is observant, restrained, and analytical, a man who understands situations before others even realize they exist. Unlike those around him, Michael does not react impulsively. He listens. He waits. He calculates. His intelligence sets him apart, and at first, it appears to be his greatest strength. But over time, it becomes the very thing that isolates him and ultimately destroys him. Vito Corleone was intelligent, but his intelligence was inseparable from empathy and human understanding. He knew that power was not merely about strategy, but about people. Vito read emotions, motivations, and loyalties as easily as others read contracts. His intelligence was relational. He understood that fear could enforce obedience, but only trust could sustain loyalty. Michael's intelligence, by contrast, is structural. He views the world as a system to be controlled, optimized, and secured. Where Vito relied on relationships, Michael relies on foresight. Where Vito built loyalty, Michael builds contingency plans. From the start, Michael's intelligence marks him as different. He is educated, disciplined, and emotionally composed. He believes he can stand apart from the family business because he understands the world better than those trapped inside it. He sees crime as crude, inefficient, and unnecessary. Yet when violence reaches his family, Michael's intelligence pulls him in. He recognizes patterns others miss. He anticipates outcomes others fear. And in doing so, he steps onto a path that rewards his intellect while slowly stripping away his humanity. Michael's strategic mind allows him to outmaneuver enemies with terrifying precision. He plans further ahead than anyone else. He sees betrayal before it happens. He understands leverage, timing, and consequence. Each successful decision reinforces his belief that intellect, not emotion, is the key to survival and power. But with every calculation, Michael distances himself further from human connection. His intelligence teaches him to trust no one fully, to reveal nothing, and to keep everyone at arm's length. Knowledge becomes a shield, and that shield slowly becomes a prison. The tragedy of Michael Corleone lies in the fact that his decisions are rarely wrong. His plans work. His enemies fall. His power consolidates. The empire grows stronger under his control. Yet each victory costs him something invisible but irreplaceable. Where Vito could sit among family and allies with warmth and ease, Michael exists in constant vigilance. His intelligence demands control, and control demands isolation. The more he understands the game, the less he allows himself to participate in ordinary human life. This transformation is most devastating in Michael's personal relationships. K represents honesty, transparency, and moral grounding, values that conflict with Michael's strategic mindset. To Michael, truth becomes a liability. Openness becomes dangerous. His intelligence convinces him that withholding information is protection, that deception is necessary, and that emotional distance is strength. In choosing logic over intimacy, he destroys trust. K is not driven away by cruelty, but by calculation. Even within his family, Michael's intelligence becomes unforgiving. Vito saw weakness as something to manage with patience and understanding. Michael sees weakness as a risk that must be eliminated. Betrayal is no longer a matter for negotiation or mercy. It becomes a problem to be solved permanently. His mind reduces human relationships to outcomes and probabilities. Compassion is replaced by efficiency. Love is replaced by control. Fredo's fate is the clearest expression of this tragedy. Michael does not act out of rage or hatred. He acts out of certainty. His intelligence concludes that betrayal cannot be tolerated, that mercy invites future danger. In choosing logic over empathy, Michael crosses a line that cannot be undone. It is the moment where intelligence fully overrides humanity. What remains is power without warmth, authority without love. Michael's intelligence also reshapes how others see him. People no longer follow him out of loyalty or respect. They follow him because they fear his mind. They fear his ability to anticipate, to uncover, to strike without warning. His silence becomes threatening. His calm becomes terrifying. He commands obedience, but he inspires no devotion. Where Vito was admired and feared, Michael is feared alone. The irony of Michael's story is that intelligence gives him everything he believes he wants. It gives him control, security, and dominance. Yet it takes away everything that gives life meaning. He becomes a man surrounded by power but devoid of connection. He wins every external battle while losing every internal one. His intelligence builds an empire, but it leaves him utterly alone within it. Michael Corleone's downfall is not caused by ignorance or impulsivity. It is caused by clarity without compassion. His mind sees too much and feels too little. Where Vito balanced intellect with humanity, Michael sacrifices humanity for certainty. In doing so, he becomes a prisoner of his own brilliance. This is what makes Michael Corleone a tragic figure in the classical sense. His greatest strength is inseparable from his downfall. His intelligence elevates him above everyone else, but it cuts him off from the world. He becomes a man who controls everything except his own emptiness. Ultimately, Michael Corleone's story warns of the danger of intelligence divorced from empathy. It shows how brilliance, when untempered by human connection, becomes isolating and destructive. Michael achieves mastery over his enemies, his empire, and his destiny, but he loses mastery over himself. He becomes powerful beyond measure, yet incapable of peace. In the end, Michael Corleone is destroyed not because he fails, but because he succeeds too completely. His intelligence makes him unstoppable, but it also makes him alone. And that is the true tragedy at the heart of The Godfather, a man who understands everything, controls everything, and yet loses the one thing his father understood above all else, the value of human connection.